Okay, one more for this document, for this sequence of videos here. Kind of a weird problem that could be overwhelming if you just look over it and don't see the picture here. So there's a lot going on with this. A point P in the fourth quadrant lies on the graph for the function f of x equals negative x squared. Express the slope of the line joining P to the origin as a function of x. That sort of could be a head-spinning kind of question just reading it over, but we got to work with a picture. One of the big skills calculus is going back and forth between the words and symbols you're looking at and the picture. The nice thing is there's a picture to basically everything in calculus, so we got to get good at that. It's obviously a graph picture talking about quadrants and stuff, so let's start with that. And the other thing that's pretty easy to do on here is it says the graph of the function f of x equals negative x squared. So that's your regular parabola, only flipped over. Negative x squared would go through the origin and look like that. Okay, rough sketch. Good enough to get the point of what's happening. Speaking of points, this is a point P in the fourth quadrant. So I'm on this part of the graph. No, this part of the graph over here. This is the fourth quadrant, right? 4. Okay, so point P is over here somewhere. Now, read through this again, get the picture of what's happening. A point P in the fourth quadrant lies on the graph of the function f of x equals negative x squared. Express the slope of the line joining P to the origin. So now we get a different color just for good measure. Line going through the origin and point P would look like that. We got some negative slope to it, but we want to express the slope as a function of x. We're not talking about one particular point here. We're talking about any point out here, so we could have different x values. We want the slope of the line. Now, slope of the line. Good old-fashioned algebra formula for that. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to put that a little bit more into calculus language here. We do have 2 points. So we do have an x1, y1, x2, y2. We don't have numbers for this one. We do have numbers for this one. This is the origin. We don't have numbers for this one. This is just on the graph of the function f of x equals minus x squared. So this is some x right here. And the y coordinate would be f of x, or minus x squared. So that's the coordinates that we're looking at. We're going to put that in. Now the slope as a function of x, m of x is the y coordinate here minus the y coordinate here, which is 0, over x2, which is just x, minus the x coordinate here, which is just 0. So that simplifies to, well, subtracting 0 doesn't change anything, so it simplifies to negative x. Now, if x was 0, this would be undefined, but it's not. It says it's in the fourth quadrant. So x is greater than 0 to get into the fourth quadrant. So this is what it simplifies to. This would be m of x then equals negative x. That's the slope of that line.